English language media in Ukraine covering Ukrainian issues. Kyiv Post is being criticized by a lot of journalists and politicians by just being very negative, focused on the corruption, focused on how bad things are. So in that regard, Kyiv Post is getting a little bit of flack, while other people, particularly, like, say, those belonging to Invest Ukraine, who want to show a little bit of a brighter side of things are actually moving along, and we shouldn't only be focusing on the negative. And I guess that's the black and the white part that you're talking about. But every element here is made of gray. And when you analyze it far enough, the white, in my opinion, my professional opinion, is overshadowed by the dark tones, and most of it has to do with the lack of rule of law. If we discuss the rule of law, let alone the Minsk agreements, which aren't a legal document, receiving much more legal clout or abidance than the Budapest Memorandum, to again the Maidan, or the commissions for Ilovaisk. The war is taking place. Again, we're aware that people who would otherwise be considered war criminals are supposed to receive amnesty. It's a mess. And one of the biggest problems in general from the government, where they could really improve, is working on their communication. To date, this vertical approach to being a functionary or a civil servant still exists. People are very afraid of taking initiative. Even if they receive an order, a direct mandate to do something, they're afraid to communicate it. They're afraid to do it because, again, what if the situation changes and they'll be out of a job? So people here have a very difficult time to really take ownership of the reforms that need to be taking place. And that is a key obstacle to having the realization of reforms. And they're not being properly communicated. If you consider it, in Ukraine, most people haven't been outside of their own oblast, let alone out of the country. And when we start talking about electronic governance, e-governance, or facilitated police services, they have no clue. They can't visualize or have a good grasp of what are these reforms supposed to create. What type of Ukraine are they creating? There's no communication about it. And should they give better effect to strategically communicating the movements to the nation, I think that it would improve the mood in general greatly.